Hey guys, you know I'm a simple person. You want to make me happy? Feed me potatoes and show me an abandoned cemetery. So I'm in DeLand, Florida, and this is the Bethel Cemetery, which originally was part of the Bethel Methodist Episcopalian Church grounds, which is said to have been on the west side of the cemetery, which would be here, where the parking lot is now. Standing from 1883 until it burned. We won't go into that. If I remember correctly from the website, 1927. So it looks like it's maintained by the American Vets Post number 13. There's some beautiful old stones. Let's take a look. I've never been here before. I've actually driven on this road numerous times, and I didn't catch it. But DeLand, there's a lot of Florida history in the city of DeLand and Confederate flag. And there are a lot of historical cemeteries here, pioneer cemeteries. This is the first time I've been here, so I'm just walking along. Oh my God, this stone is glorious. Okay, this stone doesn't look as old as his death. And I remember that name from the website. So this gentleman was a pastor at the church, I believe. And the website I'm referring to is findagrave.com. So we have a baby here, 1883, and an 8-year-old, Samuel Cook. I've never been here before, so my senses are wide open. Oh, well, there's another Chandler. Well, if Chandler was the name of the minister, it's not unusual that there would be more than one Chandler in the cemetery. 1915, 1900, 1891. Anyway, I've never been here before, and you see it's not very big. So I'm just kind of wide open to it. I'm not really, I didn't bring any tools. I'm not honing into who has a message. I just wanted to share this splendid cemetery. Now, this stone looks as old as the date. Jose de Gamarra, past 1883. Trying to figure out what that is. You know, I know that there were some, like there are a variety of life insurance companies that provided stones. My favorite, of course, is the Woodman of the World, which I've done a couple videos about, where you see the tree trunk stones. The Masonic Templars was the colored, the black variation of that. And though the cut of the stone does not look like a Masonic Templar, there's definitely an insignia here. And it's, you know, it's like a cross with, I would not be surprised to learn that that was one of those affiliated groups. It might have even been Masonic Templar. I don't know. Just based on what I can see on the stone. But yeah, I didn't bring any tools to pull any magnetic direction. Marsh died 1883. Yeah, this is a very significant cemetery with the ages of these. This is a notable corner in this part of DeLand. I'm surprised I hadn't sensed it before. 1925. I can't read this, but I suspect it's a family. No, I can't read it. Someone there passed in 1954. Robert and Mildred McDonald. Oh, I am okay. I'm feeling this. Oh, I might have to come back here. I'm really feeling this. It might be because he's World War I, and I am very connected to World War I vets. Don't ask me why. I just am. I'm also full of digestive places. I went to one of my favorite diners in the land and just had some biscuits and gravy. Well, that person wasn't very old. 36 to 75. 1854 to 1908. Now, see, I was talking about the Masonic Templars. See the cut of this stone, the shape of the stone itself? That was how the Masonic Templar stones that I have seen, and there are some actually in this town over at Bethel Cemetery, the big, really decrepit, abandoned black cemetery. They're cut like that. They have a very particular insignia, but they're cut like that. They're bigger, and they're made out of white marble, and that looks like it's granite. But the stone itself, someone is taking care of these. That's been cleaned. These have been cleaned. See, 1898. These have obviously been cleaned. Someone is maintaining these. Look at this beautiful. This must be a baby. 1906. This baby was 3. Is it Amy? Ava Mae Marsh. And she was 3. And there's Inez and Albert, so that must have been her parents. Louisa Champion died 1886, born in 1830. That's beautiful stone. And not cleaned at all, but it's still, you can still read it. So her brother is also buried here, or is that her children? It says brother. Oh, look, there's a beautiful little caterpillar right there. So we've got the whole family here. That's lovely. Oh, look at this, is gorgeous. And I love it when there's a bench, you know, so you can sit with your family. Let's see, and someone took the time to plant an iris in there. I can't read it, but someone planted an iris there. That's lovely. Robertson. That's a beautiful bench. It's like a fieldstone. Love all these ferns planted right on top. 1971. So the further back we get, it's like they're more recent. Davis. World War I. See, when I go to, especially if it's a black person, a black World War I vet, I should say a black man, something starts buzzing in my head. So, yeah. The buzzing's happening. Maybe I was. I actually think I was in the Civil War. Pretty sure I was in the Civil War. And I am absolutely positive that I was either black or I was Native when I was in the Civil War, because I see things. Well, see, there's, okay, so That's interesting because obviously there are white people here too, though Methodist Episcopalian, I tend to think of it being a black church. Oh, here's the old demarcations for the cemetery. Is that somebody's house right there? But, so I thought this was a black cemetery. So I am corrected. And I actually love being corrected. So that's unfortunate. Someone took the old placard that would have been placed by the funeral home when they interred the body and put it in concrete, but weather and this area floods here just took it all away, unfortunately. We have another vet, someone from the Navy, Korea. Look at that, I love that. When people put personal things, like that was a motorcycle, sometimes we'll see a cap, like someone's baseball cap that they always wore, or a bottle of alcohol, right? Love that. So Georgia, born in Georgia, died 1932. So this seems to be the Brown family, and look how well cared for this is. Someone put these little fencing around, and someone planted all these trees. That's so beautiful. You can have your snazzy, well-kept cemeteries. They seem sterile to me. Beach. Okay, there's a butterfly following me around. I don't know if I captured any of that with the phone. Wow. You know, I'm not going to walk in here. See how it's all chained off? Sometimes I feel like I'm not supposed to walk in these things, that it's just for family. And, oh, and it's completely open to the street. Well, that's heartbreaking. I'm not going to walk in here. Yeah, these are all new. Yeah, beautiful stone, but I ain't feeling nothing from that. World War II. $1929. All right. I still am feeling those people up there. I don't know if I'm feeling him or her. The World War I veteran. Can't read that. Died 1915. It's a lovely place to rest, though. Look at all this lovely old trees. And there's another cemetery in this part of DeLand called the Charitable Cemetery. Not the Potter's Field, really, but I mean, there is a Potter's Field. It's called the Carnal Cemetery, and I did a video about that. But it's a community cemetery, and again, I believe that everyone in the community cemetery is black, and I base that on the names and whatnot, and just kind of my gut. Why did I bring that up? Oh, I brought that up because I was there over a year ago, and a really big tree had fallen, and unfortunately it pulled up some of the crypts with it. Very old tree, massive root system, and that's always a risk here, that if these massive trees were to upend, it might take somebody with it, sadly. I was going to go back to the Charitable Cemetery today, but I thought, gosh, is there somewhere I haven't been yet? And I haven't been to this one. I've been to all the rest, including the snazzy ones. Okay, my head's buzzing again. So let's see. I want to see who's calling me. George was born in 1880 and died in 1890, so that's very sad. But someone over here is hollering at me. I don't have any tools. I'm gonna see. Is George calling me? No. Is it Mildred calling me? Maybe. Is it Robert calling me? Robert's calling me. But Mildred also has something to say. All right. Okay. I'm going to, oh, I see my phone's ringing, so sorry for the buzz that's going to transcribe. I'm going to turn the phone off and see if I can commune with Robert. Nothing distinct has started coming through, but the feeling I get where I am connecting because the top of my head is on fire has started. I'm a little distracted because this is a busy intersection. Sometimes the information will come in one side of my head or the other, come in through an eye, come in through the back of my head. This is coming right down on like my suture on the top of my head, coming right through there. And it's definitely from Robert. Let's see, he died in 86. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. They both died the same year. She died in February. He died. Oh. She died in February. He died in March. Less than a month later. Oh, God. All right. This reminds me of when I was over at the Enterprise Evergreen. Was it? No. No. Not the Enterprise Evergreen. When I went back to the San Sebastian Cemetery in St. Augustine, and there was which is an abandoned black cemetery in the west part of town, and there was a couple, very not nice military stones like this, very simple stones, and it was that kind of thing. The wife died and the husband died soon after, and he had so much regret, so much to say. Her passing really turned his reflection of his life back on himself, and he had a lot to say about that. Now, of course, I will go to findagrave.com, which is how I found out about the cemetery, and I will look to see if anyone has added any genealogical information. But what I'm getting is, yeah, he died. He died just a month later. Can you see? Someone has been laying the wreath there, and someone is keeping the flags up, Confederate and otherwise. I see a lot of anguish. It's Robert. Mildred is just kind of in the background. It's almost like she's watching him from another room. Going through his anguish. Very, very, very anguished. He was a private, so this was not a well-to-do colonel or anything like that. A private. He was a common man, a simple man. Anguish. It broke his heart. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm asking now if I can feel in my body what ended his life, what malfunction ended his life. I don't know what Claire that is, and I seem to have that when I'm doing this work. I will feel pain in my body. Sometimes it's indicating of the pain that still exists, the soul that still has the pain. Sometimes it's what ended the person's life. Can I feel the pain that resulted in the physical ending of Robert McDonald? Everything's staying in my head. It's like I feel the light coming down from this connection, the frequency coming down through the very top of my head, through the sutures at the top of my head. My crown is kind of humming. So that would make me think that it was a stroke, right? But I'm also feeling a connection to my chest and to my heart, though I don't feel pain there. I wonder if he fought himself to collapse. You know, sometimes people will do that. Oh, they were the same age. Wait a minute. Look it. They were absolutely the same age. He was born October 17th, 1893. She was born October 1st, 1983. This is wild. My gosh. Wow. Almost as if they were twins. They were born so close to each other. It will be very interesting to read about these people. I have a feeling there is something to read about them. And Pliny Grave. I'm just feeling it all in my head, coming down. That he worried himself. He worried himself to death. Mildred, do you have anything? She's kind of stepping forward. It's like she was in another room or on the other side of a veil, kind of watching him. She's stepping forward, but she's just coming forward real kind of quietly. Mildred, what ended your life? Now my chest hurts. My chest is starting to hurt, so I wouldn't be surprised to learn that she died of heart failure. But look at the dates. They both had good long lives. Yeah, I think she died peacefully of old age. I don't have anything more to say. I'm going to walk over to this Confederate memorial over here. They were done talking. I wanted to walk over to this Confederate memorial, which is obviously newer than this. This was not here when these people were interned. That's probably what was standing when they were interned. Reuben Marsh, 1908, and Mary Marsh, 1926. Confederate soldier. And I guess these are the kids. And there's Marsh, Mrs. Rogers, so that would have been daughter, son, Mrs. Henry Marsh. So she married into the family, Henry Marsh. Okay, husband and wife. More Marshes there. Oh, and that's, okay, and that's that baby that we saw. So these are all the Marshes. This is coming in. There's a lot coming in here. Look, someone put a penny there. Oh boy. There's a lot coming in. Blinding. Let's see on his side. And his wreath has fallen. That was interesting. I was touching Mary's side, and now I'm touching Reuben's side. And when I moved my hand, there was this real interesting kind of spinning that happened as, you know, as the circuits recalibrated. Nothing specific. Just a lot of it, just a lot coming through, just a lot in general. Like I was receiving a lot of information, a lot of energy. I'm just feeling a lot of love. Love for family, love for between husband and wife. And this would have been their grandchild. Ava. You know, Ava, I think Ava's already come back. Because all I kind of saw was this spinning wheel. So I think that Ava has come back. That was, things were cut short for her there. But I think that she has come back and been able to finish whatever was not able to be done then. And, you know, I always think that when a baby dies, or in this case, a toddler dies, it's a lesson for the parents, for the family. Overall, it's very peaceful here. I don't think that anyone was murdered here, or oh, there's a sheriff there. Died in a horrible accident of any kind. I don't feel any violence here. Sheriff Collier. But it's different than the black cemeteries, where there is just such an unbelievable sense of peace and eternalness, because in black cemeteries, unless people have moved away, and Latin cemeteries, the feeling about beloved people passing over is so different than we white folk. They don't die. They just change form, essentially. They're still alive. They're still part of their lives. I'm not picking up a whole lot. But again, I didn't announce this to the universe. I didn't announce this to the universe until right before I got here. I literally was on my way to the charitable cemetery, which is in this part of town, and decided at a stoplight that I should see if there's something else, a cemetery I hadn't seen. So, you know, these souls don't hang around their gravesites. You have to let them know that you're coming for them to be here. Hello. Hello. You have to let them know that you're coming for them to be here. Unless there's a lot of unfinished business. As I said, if there was a violent death or a murder, then there seems to be a lot of difficulty and discord energy that keeps souls near. You know, thinking of the Bethel Cemetery in St. Augustine within the city walls. The oldest cemetery in St. Augustine is Bethel. There was a young boy who was climbing a tree and fell out of the tree and fell and died in the cemetery. And he is very much still there. It's people that have no capacity for woo-woo at all see that boy's apparition on a regular basis. So, yeah, none of that here. Very peaceful. A lot of sadness over there. Okay. I'm going to go back to the car and use my phone to look up a little bit about these people. And I'll be back with you soon. Did a little reading. There was nothing about Robert and Mildred, other than that they were both 92. You know, people married early back then. They'd spent their whole lives together. It's not unusual that he would have died such a short time later. Now, the other one that I wanted to look up was baby Ava over here. So here we've got the Confederate monument. So baby Ava was the daughter of Albert and Inez. She died in 1909. So Albert had property and he had sheep. Apparently he got up in the morning and he had to move some critter away from his sheep. And he went to clean his rifle that was sitting on the front porch because he noticed that one of the barrels looked like it was clogged with something. And in the process of maneuvering, and you know, if you've cleaned a gun, then you know these things are very easy to do. The story goes, and it was the copy of a newspaper article that was on the website. He discharged the gun, and the bullet went through the window, and it hit baby Ava, who was sleeping in bed, and it hit her in her hip. And you see, she was just 3 going on 4. It hit her in the hip, and apparently she died within the hour. So It's sad and interesting because when I touched her stone, I didn't get the sense of anything violent. But I mean, it wasn't intentionally violent. Accidents happen. People fall down and die. I just got, what I saw when I touched her stone was like this kind of swirling infinity symbol, which made me say that I felt like she's already come back. She's already come back and done whatever it is she needed to do. If I remember correctly, he had 3 other children with Miss Inez. And those are the only ones I looked at. For little Ava. He died first, but he was a bit older, 20 years older. It's very sad. All right. There isn't anyone else speaking to me, and you know, I'm full of biscuits and gravy, I have to admit. But that's not too bad, given, as I said, I didn't put the word out that I was coming. I don't know if you can see this. There's some kind of like staff or something here. If I had some water, I might be able to see better. I'm just putting spit on my hands. See, there's something written here. There's a staff. It was only 46. I don't know. Dagamara doesn't sound, well, he's Latin. Jose with a Z. But that's a very interesting insignia on that stone. Okay. That was just a real kind of quick, random pop in. So, didn't expect a lot. Anyway, always happy to find a new cemetery. And I hope you're having a lovely night. And I'll talk to you soon.